Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video, and for today's video I am going to be closing out my budget for the month of May. So last month I have quite a bit of things to do for today's video. First, I'm going to be checking in for week 4 of May, which was from the 24th until the 31st for me. I also have this results section here, which I will also fill in for you guys, just so that you guys get an idea of how I go about that towards the end of the month. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and come to my sinking funds and transaction log pages so that I go ahead and track all of the transactions and how much I've spent from my sinking funds this month. So I'll go ahead and write out my spent, and you guys will know my ending. And then last but definitely not least, I will go ahead and fill out the actual column for my variable expenses as well as the variances here, and I will know how much it is that I'll be transferring towards my emergency fund, which is the financial goal that I am currently working on. This is typically one of the longer videos that I have or that I film here on my channel, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna go through my expense tracker here, my pocket planner, and lay down all of my budget expense stickers, which I've already written out. And then once I go into the weekly check-in section, I will go ahead and count the money that I have left over in all of my cash envelopes for this month. The first expense that I have would be on the 26th Wednesday. I actually have quite a bit of them on this day. I have 2 for groceries. I went to my local grocery store, Vallarta, and I spent $16, and then I went to Target. This is, I think, the day that I went with my friend Alicia. We hung out, I had some coffee. So I believe at Target I picked up some eggs, spinach. I think that was pretty much it. And then Vallarta I had to buy water. I might have bought pineapple, cucumber, and maybe, I'm thinking ground beef. So those 2 came out of my groceries cash envelope, which I have my little key here. Then at Target, I did buy something with my allowance cash envelope, which is this fog color. I spent $15 from there. We also, like I mentioned, went to grab some coffee, so I spent $7 for my eating out envelope for coffee. I actually got Thai tea. It was really, really good. So that was on the 26th, quite a bit of expenses that day. And then I didn't have any more expenses until the weekend. So on the 28th, I finally pumped gas this month. I don't know if you guys have been watching my channel, especially like for this month's budget, but my dad had been borrowing my car for most of this month. So I didn't have to pump gas up until the 28th, which was great. And then the last expense that I had this last week would be for a drink on the 29th. I went out with my friend Alicia and one of her co-workers, and I just grabbed a drink. So I went ahead and used my eating out money for that. So those are all of the expenses that I had for the last week in May. Now I am quickly going to lay down my payday sticker and my no spend stickers. I have a payday, my last payday script, which I will lay down on Tuesday the 25th. And now I can go ahead and lay down my no spend stickers, which I've had quite a bit of expenses. So this last week for me was from the 24th until the 31st. So I'm going to grab and lay one down on the 24th. One on the 25th, the 27th, the 30th, and last but not least, I had a no spend on the 31st. So quite a bit of no spends, and as I typically like to do in this last video for the month, I'm going to track how many no spend days I had this month. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay down my no spend sticker here and count down how many no spend days I had. Last month I had a total of 12. So let's go ahead and see how I did this month. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 no spend days, which is definitely less than last month, but it's not too bad. I honestly thought that I was going to have way less than 10. So we have double digits and no spend days. That's always good. And that pretty much concludes everything that I have here. I did go ahead and also pay $5 for a tip on that night of the 29th. Now let me bring you guys to the weekly check-in, and I will go ahead and write out my categories. When the sun goes down and the night sky's falling, do you believe in one-time love? Now that I've written out my categories, I'm going to track my expenses. So first category is groceries, which I spend $16 at Vallarta and $7.30 at Target. Off the bat, I know that I went a little bit over budget for groceries just because I paid with cash at Vallarta, but you guys know that I use my Target card for any of my Target purchases. And so I spent a total of $23.30, and as you guys can see from last week, I only had $20.01. So I am over budget by $3.20, which is honestly not a bad number to be over budget, and like any category, it's just $3. But I am typically never, I don't think I've ever been over budget in groceries, just because I've either had help from Paul with covering other groceries, or I just won't spend money if I don't have it in my cash envelope. But I honestly wanted to be a little bit more realistic with myself this month. As you guys can see, I spent $100 on the second week, so I think that's kind of where I overspent. Now for the month of June, I have increased my groceries budget just because I will be having family over, but I still don't know if that will be enough, so we will definitely go ahead and see. All in all, I'm not mad about being over budget by $3.20, but I do like to keep track of all of this, so then that way, if let's say this keeps happening and it becomes a pattern, I can go ahead and increase my grocery spending, or if I'm using less, I can go ahead and decrease it, which I think since the beginning of the year, I've been decreasing my grocery spending. So if I would have left the $5 that I was budgeting extra the past month, then I would have been fine, but here we are. So that was what I spent for groceries. Then I did not have any household spending this last week, so remaining I have, or I should have, the $17.97. Now, as you guys know, I typically like to have cash in my envelopes, but when it comes to cents, like the 97 cents, I will go ahead and leave that in my bank account, just because most of the household spending that I have is from Target, which I just finished mentioning that I like to use my Target red card. So that's the main reason why I have started counting cents now, because I want to be as accurate as possible, and it just works out for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing, I think, for 2 months now. So in my household envelope, I have 10, 15, 16, and 17 in cash, but I will be rolling over, of course, the whole amount there. Then for eating out, I have 2 expenses, one for coffee of $7 and $9 for my drink. That is a total of $16 spent for eating out this week. And I had $28.50 last week, so I should now have $12.50. So let's take a look at eating out. So eating out, cash envelope, and I have 10, 11, and 12. So all of the envelopes that have extra money, I will be rolling over, like I mentioned. Next, for allowance, I have one expense for Target of $15. I believe I bought some really pretty leopard biker shorts. I'll go ahead and leave a link for them down below in the description box if you guys are interested. They're really, really cute and very comfy, so I wanted to get that, as well as I got like spaghetti strap shirt, and that was $15 spent. And last week I had $66.22, So this week remaining, I have 51.22, which for allowance, I like to roll over this amount to the allowance sinking fund that I have. It's kind of where I like to save all of my extra allowance money. So I have $51 there. So I'll put this on the side because I will be transferring this to my sinking fund spread in a second. Then for beauty, I think, no, I didn't spend anything for beauty. So 0 here. I am under budget by $53.17. I will definitely be rolling this money over just because I am actually going to have a second nail appointment for the month of June. I already went to my first one just because of how the month ended up working out. So these $53 are definitely going to come in handy when I get my nails done again at the end of the month. So I have here 20, 40, 50, 1, 2, and $3. And then last but not least, I have a gas expense of $40. So $40 spent, and I had 40. So that means that I don't have anything left over. And then I don't have any red stickers, which would mean an unbudgeted expense. So I'm going to write 0 here. But as you guys know, from the second week, I already did have an unbudgeted expense of $33.31 for some extra gift spending. So that's going to be it for my week 4 check-in. Now, how I go about the results section, which I think I might have done this last month or 2 months ago, is all of the remaining will be the same. So whatever I get for week 4 is what I'll go ahead and write down here. I'm also sorry if you can't really see this marker. I really just wanted to use it because I thought it matched with this month's washi, but I can now tell that you can't really see it too well. 12.50, 51.22, 53.17, 0. Here's my gas envelope, by the way, if you guys wanted to see. It does not have anything. And over budget by 33.31. And now what I like to do for the spent is I'll go ahead and add up every single amount each week per category, and then I'll go ahead and write it out here. And this just makes it a little bit easier to transfer the number to your budget. So for groceries, all right guys, things were not adding up and I was freaking out. I was like, where did I go wrong? But I realized that instead of it being 2001, it should have been 2031, which doesn't really change anything but the cents that I keep in my bank account. So good thing. Okay, so 2031 minus 2330 means that I was over budget by $299. So I hope I'm able to write on top of the white out here. Okay. Not too crazy about it, but okay, that will do. So after adding all of my grocery spending, I have a total of $242.99 spent. It's kind of driving me a little bit nuts, but it should do. Okay, now for household, I spent a total of $82.03. Eating out, we have $39.50 plus 32 and 16. That is $87.50 spent. Allowance, that is $48.78 spent in total. Beauty, I have $204.63. I think I might have just spent my beauty money all in 1 week. So I spent a total of $204 with 63 cents, and then gas 40, which is what I budgeted. And then for unbudgeted, that was a total of $33.31 right there. So that is how I go about the results section. I'm sorry that there was a bit of mishaps along the way, but I am all done with this. So now that I have this done, let's move on to my sinking fund spread, where I will go ahead and now close this out. I am quickly going to take a picture of this section just so that I don't have to be flipping back and forth. I know that that can get a little bit annoying for you guys. So, okay, I have this here. And I think we're well zoomed in. Since I am all done with my weekly check-in, I can go ahead and add the allowance money in here. So I'm going to be rolling over $51.22 to my allowance sinking fund. 22 is going to get added. For adventures, I spent a total of $403 with 45 cents. So that means that remaining I have $59.19 for adventures. Now for allowance, I did have some money in the beginning of the month, and I only spent $34.63. So now remaining, I have $58.18, which is so funny. This is so hilarious. Okay, next we have Amazon Prime. I know that I didn't spend anything for this, so ending would be 100. Car maintenance, no spending for that. So I am ending with 215 here. 0 for car payment. I'm just gonna go ahead and write some zeros all the way down here. That's pretty much it. Okay, so 373 for my emergency car payment. I am ending with 122 for car tags. 641.50 for Christmas. Clothing, I am more than sure, yes, I spent all of the money that I stuffed this with, which was 100. So now I don't have anything left. Costco, 0. So 25 ending. Date night, 0. Which means that I'm ending with $40. Electricity, I paid $146 with 67 cents. And I started with 314. So that means that I now have 167 with 33 cents. Entertainment, I had one expense for entertainment for $21. So that means that I'm ending with $39. Gifts, I know I spent all of them out here, so $175. And I know this because I was over budgeting gifts again. For medical, I have one expense. Oh, I didn't mention this, but on the last week of the month, I did spend some money from my miscellaneous sinking fund, $12.13, for the little girls' night out that I had with my friend Alicia. And I did have to pay a copay amount for my doctor's visit, which was $15. So for medical, I spent $15. $314.61. For miscellaneous, I spent $27.43 and $12.13. So I spent a total of $39.56. So that minus the amount that I had, I now have $5.64 remaining. And then last but not least, for Pro Trip, that is going to end with the same amount as I started with in the month. Now I have every single number here, which all of my ending amounts here should match my beginning amounts for the month of June. So I'm going to quickly double check that. And they do. So everything matches up, and I'm now going to go ahead and add up all of my totals. So for beginning, that was 3,320 with 54 cents. Now what I added in here was 975 with 22 cents. What I spent was 935 with 31 cents. And the total for my ending is 3,360 with 45 cents, which I'm just going to double check that by adding these two together and subtracting this, which in fact does match up. So everything looks good here, and I am all done closing out my sinking funds. This is definitely the most time-consuming page and video that I have to film for you guys, but I'm always super relieved once it is done. And now to finish up with this video, I'm going to bring you guys to my monthly budget spread. That is the last one that I have to fill out. But before I do that, I will go ahead and mention that since the last time that we've seen each other, I've only had one more business expense for shipping, which was around $3.49. I also did, I don't know if I mentioned this, I received a small paycheck from ShareSale this month, as well as from Amazon affiliate links. So these are all of my variable sources of income for this month, which I'm very, very happy and grateful to you guys about, because without you guys clicking on any of the links that I provide for you guys in the description box, which are, as you guys know, affiliate links, I would not, receive small paychecks like these. So thank you so, so much to everyone who is so supportive of me and my channel. And now, before I get too sappy, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this section. I think I will just leave you guys there. All right, so now I will be going through all of my variable expenses. First, for groceries, like I mentioned, I was over budget by $2.99. So I budgeted $2.40 and my actual was $2.42.99, which means that I have a variance of negative $2.99. For household, eating out, allowance, and beauty, I will go ahead and just make the actuals the same exact amount as my budgeted here, just because these are the amounts that I will be rolling over. So this is kind of how I do that. I just make it the same amount. So 120 eating out, 100 for allowance, and 200 for beauty. Now gas, I did spend the 40, so that will also be the same, which means there's no variance as well. Now for my phone bill, I budgeted 102, but this month was the month that my bill actually went down, so I ended up only spending $71.81 for that, which is quite a difference. So $71.81 is my actual for my phone bill, meaning that the variance is $30.19. By $30.19, internet bill, I ended up spending $69.99, which I have now changed the budgeted to that amount because it's been like that for quite a few months. But the variance is 1 cent. My gym membership was $22.99. So right, $22.99 here. I also had a category for Mother's Day, which I budgeted $100, but I did overspend for this category here. by $32. So my actual is $132. So over budget by 32. And as I mentioned, I did have one unbudgeted expense this month for gifts of $33.31. So all in all, I am over budget by quite a bit of money if it wasn't for my phone bill being under budget by $30. So let's see. Variance is negative 33.31. And now I'm going to go ahead and add up all of my actuals and then my variances here. So for the actual amount that I spent, that was $1,133.09. And then I'm just going to double check with the variances. So I'll go ahead and add up all of the negatives first. 299, 32, 33, 31, and then subtract the positives from that. So after adding all the variances together, I am still over budget by $38 with 10 cents, which is honestly not too bad. And it could have definitely been worse if I wasn't under budget for my phone bill, which I should now be pretty good with that, considering that I have decreased this amount for the month of June. Now, am I proud of myself for being over budget by this amount? Definitely not, but I did have quite a bit of birthdays in the month of May. If you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know that, as well as I wanted to be a little bit more realistic with things like groceries, because even if, let's say, I don't have more money in my cash envelope, at the end of the day I will still have to buy groceries, which that was such a minuscule amount, so I'm not mad about it at all. I definitely could have done better with my Mother's Day spending and with gifts and stuff like that, but truth of the matter is that I did not. All in all, I think that with the amount of variable income sources that I have here, everything should be good. So now the last thing I'm going to do is write out my actuals for my variable and fixed expenses. So for variable, like we said, what that was 1,133 with 9, and then the fixed is the same exact amount as the budgeted. So this is essentially what I'll do right now, but once I am done filming, I will go ahead and write in my expected and actual income and then subtract all of my expenses from that, giving me the leftover amount, which is what's going to go towards my emergency fund. With that being said, that is going to be pretty much it for the budget closeout for this month. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching my budgeting videos for this month. Definitely stay tuned to tomorrow, which will be my week 1 check-in for the month of June. I have quite a bit to do just because I didn't film a video setting up my other different spreads, like my monthly view and my variable income spread. So definitely stay tuned. That video should be pretty long. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on tomorrow's video. Bye guys.